Hey everybody, welcome to another review. This is Prey for PC and Xbox 360. This is a first-person shooter developed by Human Head Studios, produced by 3D Realms, and published by 2K Games, with a 360 port of which I am playing, developed by Venom Games. Say that one sentence 10 times fast, and I'm pretty sure your brain will begin having an orgasm. Well, no orgasm, more like spasm. Fuck me. Anyway, Anyway, this was released in 2006 and was received with a pretty good reception, although it didn't get much of a reception at all because it didn't sell very well or anything. It was a very obscure game. Kind of odd. It's a very odd game because it's a full-on AAA game. It's just that it never really got really widespread recognition or anything. It's just kind of forgotten. We later got a reboot of the game, but it's not even anywhere close to this game. It's completely different game, released in 2017. Nothing to do with it at all. Anyway, let's get to the game itself. As far as presentation goes, this is an id Tech 4 game, which is both a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing because with the environments that they're going for with this game, it works fine. It's an alien spaceship, just like the USC base with Doom 3 or whatever. It works fine. Nice animatic lighting. Everything looks really good. There are some areas where the textures are like, it's very dated. Um, but for the most part, it looks actually very good. Problem with id Tech 4 is that it can't really handle large environments that well. That's why Doom 3 and stuff was always very cramped environments. Partially at least. Partially that and partially because it was just they wanted Doom 3 to be like that. This game happens to have a few sections where you fly around this spaceship thing. I don't know what you call it. And there's pretty large environments, and it actually pulls it off rather well. Doesn't look the best, but it actually pulls it off rather well. Frame rate remains stable, and it's pretty fine. The port overall by Venom Games is a fine port. The frame rate's stable most of the time. It's 30 FPS at 720p. That's normal. That's fine. I don't really give a shit. The frame rate can kinda dip a little bit in the larger fights. It is noticeable, but especially towards the end of the game. But for the most part, it's fine. It's a fine port. Venom Games did a decent job porting this game. So overall, presentation's pretty well. Sound design is also generally pretty good. Weapons, for the most part, have pretty good sounds and everything. They all feel nice and very powerful, even if they really aren't that powerful. Music. This is the one bad part of this presentation because the soundtrack is the most annoying shit I've ever heard in my life. Well, that or the Call of Duty 3 soundtrack. But anyway, the soundtrack isn't during in-game. Soundtrack isn't really that prominent. You just kind of here and there you'll hear some stuff or whatever. It's particularly bad because the main tracks on the main menu and when loading things, it's fucking awful. They tried to combine normal like cinematic bombastic shit with this like weird like Native American stuff, which from a narrative perspective makes a lot of sense. I'm gonna get to that in a second. But from a music perspective, it sounds awful. It's so fucking annoying and repetitive. You want to fucking kill yourself after fucking it for 5 seconds. Specifically because the music is also very loud when it plays. Fuck this shit. But overall, the visuals are pretty good. It's just the music itself, the soundtrack, just really brings it down. It's just awful. It's really a shame because the soundtrack was composed by the same guy that composed the Oblivion soundtrack, which is a very good soundtrack. I'll be getting to that game in an upcoming review. Stay tuned. Stay subscribed and keep liking those videos and commenting. Anyway, now let's get into the story. In the game, you play as Tommy, a Cherokee who is basically he basically it's set in the modern day, and he wants to leave the reservation because he wants to live a civilized life. The other two more main characters is his grandfather, who is basically your generic, typical, extreme Native American, whatever, keep the culture going, shit like that. And your girlfriend is believes the same way. They're basically both bitches. Um. So anyway, you get abducted into an alien spaceship, and your grandfather gets killed, and you go off and try to save your girlfriend, who's in a different part of the ship, and you go and basically the whole game just getting to your girlfriend. Anyway, I won't go on any further in the story, but the story is actually not half bad. Actually, there's a part where it's actually pretty decent. The opening scene is actually really fucking well done, really fucking well done. We need more of that shit in modern video games. Anyway, um, the story itself isn't half bad. It's not that great either, but it actually isn't that half bad. It's in particularly in the third act, it actually really gets ramped up. It actually really actually gets pretty good. But what really overall though, it's nothing too special. But I actually think it's decent. What really matters here is the gameplay, and the gameplay is both old school and unique at the same time. That's what makes it amazing. See, from a normal FPS perspective, it's a pretty normal FPS. You know, you have a variety of weapons that you can all hold at once. You have a set movement speed, not the fastest. It's more like Halo movement speed. It's pretty slow. And basically, you variety of weapons, all the different things, variety of enemy types. You know, all shit you know before. You know, if you play like Doom or something, you would know it. It works well. It works great. Would be nice if the movement speed was a little bit faster, but overall it's good. One unique thing is the leech gun, which actually has 4 fire modes depending on what you leech the energy out of. The one that shoots fireballs, one that shoots electricity blasts, one that shoots like a freeze gun or whatever. I think I said actually. I don't know if I did the last one. Oh yeah, and then later, and then like late in the game, you get this other one that like so you just ultra high powered plasma blast or whatever. I don't really know what to call it. Anyway, though, that's actually a really cool, innovative gun. Um, Besides that, though, it's all pretty generic. There's a clever pun. The Organic Rifle 15, OR-15. That's funny, actually. But overall, that's pretty normal. What's really interesting here is one interesting thing as well is the death system. See, when you die, you don't just reload a checkpoint. What you actually do is you get this thing called the spirit, whatever, I forget what it's fucking called. And basically, you're stuck in this little room and you have to shoot these weird fucking blue and orange spirits running around. It's actually not that bad. A lot of people I've seen don't actually like it, but I think it's not that bad. Because the way the gameplay works, it actually complements it very well. It's not like Bad Company, where you start off exactly where you left off, like Battlefield Bad Company or whatever, where it's just an endless slog that just takes fucking forever. I'll get into that review in a second. Like, subscribe, comment. Um, anyway, though, it actually works rather well, though, and I actually decently like it. Should be used in more games today. What really stands out here is the level design, though. It's fucking insane, and I love it. Basically, you have a variety. You can either push buttons, it opens portals. You backtrack through levels. You find shit. There's various puzzles that you have to deal with that are actually very fucking well made puzzles. There's flying sections where it's like 6 degrees of freedom shooter, like Descent or something, and it's fucking awesome. I mentioned that earlier. Very unique level design. Especially in a time when, at that time, it was just kind of generic corridor shooters. We just kind of moved through a level that was sort of open. It was kind of a valley that you just kind of moved through. Whereas, like, You had some freedom within the valley, but there were like walls on either side or whatever, kind of, and it kind of stimulated freedom without actually giving it to you. Whereas in this game, it's actually very fucking well designed, and I fucking love it. So yeah, very well made game. I think I just came to realize why this game didn't do very well, actually. See, this was released in a time when old school first person shooters like Doom and such like that were not very popular. What was popular was a new uh, military, modern military, World War II military, first person shooters like Call of Duty and Battlefield and Medal of Honor, in which it was more realistic take. Those aren't bad if they're done right. And those aren't really bad games if they're done right. Like I'm not anymore. But that's why it partially didn't do very well. Another thing is the cover art is awful. I mean, look at this shit. What do I see here? I see the fucking title. I see the fucking angel on here. And I see the fucking thing that says it's the most fucking innovative game I've seen in years. Shit, where's the fucking last time I heard that quote? Oh yeah, super hot. Fucking awful fucking art design. I guarantee if it had like a better fucking cover design, it would have fucking done a little bit better at least. I mean, it still wouldn't have done particularly well, but it still would have done a little bit better. Oh well. Fuck it. It's a cult classic, and it's a great kind of indie game. I got it for $5 on fucking GameStop. So it's actually one of those instances where I actually recommend you get it at GameStop rather than getting it digitally, because at GameStop it's actually cheaper. Oh yeah, this game also has a multiplayer, but it's dead, so I couldn't really play it. Anyway, great game. I recommend you get it. That's about it. TDF Incinerator. Actually, no. My name's changed now, if you don't know. And this is ETP445. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment in the comment section below. Let's get a discussion going. That's about it. See ya.